June the 11th, 2013. We have already had today an executive session at 3 o'clock and a work session at 4 o'clock. So this is our third meeting of the day. Madam Clerk, will you call the roll?
Calling the roll, Mr. Schron.
Here.
Ms. Conwell.
Here.
Mr. Jones.
Here.
Mr. Rogers.
Here.
Ms. Simon. Mr. Greenspan. Mr. Miller. Mr. Brady.
Here.
Mr. Germana.
Here.
Mr. Gallagher. And Ms. Conley. There is a quorum.
The Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. For our silent meditation this afternoon or this evening, I'd like to reflect on the health of former South African President Nelson Mandela, who appears to be in very grave health. Item 5 on the agenda, public comment related to the agenda. Has anyone signed in for public comment?
Madam Chair, yes, Lee Friedman from College Now.
All right, Ms. Friedman, would you come up, please? You have 3 minutes.
Thank you so much for seeing us today. As you all know, we've been talking to the council about providing some additional scholarship dollars to the students in Cuyahoga County. College Now is the oldest and largest college access and scholarship management organization in the United States. We've been around since 1966, and we have primarily focused on Cuyahoga County, although we have a small presence outside the county. We are eager and hopeful that you will be supportive of what we're proposing. We work every day in schools around the county. We'd love to be in all of them. We're in about 80% of them. And where we're in the schools, we have had really great results over these 46 years. When we are in the schools and we work with the low-income population, it costs us about $500 to work with a student over their junior and senior year, giving them private counseling in their 8 different times. And for the low-income student, defined by that they're eligible for Pell money, the typical return on investment is we can find them a $60,000 package towards college. So that's one of the reasons why our presence is around so much, because we have this expertise on how to find the money, not just find the right college, which we do, but we also work on the other part. I think the other piece that is important for you to consider tonight is our college completion rate. I know you've seen lots in the news about young people going to school and then they can't finish, and they can't finish for academic reasons, for financial reasons, for cultural and social reasons where they don't feel they fit in. The national average for low-income students, this is across the entire United States, for completing college, if they enroll, is 11%. Our same student is 65%. And the reason for that is it's not just happenstance, it's because we stick with the students. We continue to provide them guidance while they're in school, and we ensure that they have a graduation coach. We pair them with a mentor in the community, and our team, which is here, and you can certainly ask questions if you have any, call them on a regular basis, and we are very good at intervening with little problems that may not seem like a big deal maybe to us as adults in the room, but could be really big obstacles for this set of students, many of whom are first generation, and their parents want them to succeed, or their guardians, but they don't always have, the resources. So we know that last year we had hundreds of students that applied for our scholarship dollars, literally 450 students that we could not fund, in addition to the ones we did fund, which was we fund several thousand. And with working with all of you, there was a subset of that, around 65, that are not only not fully funded, but they are Cuyahoga County residents that are going to Cuyahoga County colleges and universities, and it would be helpful. So thank you for your consideration.
Thank you very much. Item 6, approval of minutes. The minutes from the meetings of May 28, 2013, for the work session for the regular meeting of May 28, 2013, and from the Committee of the Whole from June 4, 2013 are in your packets. If you've had an opportunity to review those minutes, and if you're satisfied, entertain a motion to accept the, approve the minutes as circulated.
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Sharon and seconded by Ms. Conwell. Any discussion on those minutes? All right, all those in favor of the approval of the minutes indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? All right, the ayes have it. The minutes are approved. Item 7, announcement of the president. I'm going to turn over this portion of the meeting to Mr. Rogers for a presentation on a special art project.
Great. Thank you, Madam President. I want to thank my colleagues for signing this resolution, and we have declared June 9th through June 15th as Arts Education Week in Cuyahoga County. As you may know, children that participate in the arts tend to do much better academically, particularly in math and reading. And so it's important that we celebrate arts education, and I just want to read briefly a portion of the resolution. The Council of Cuyahoga County, Ohio takes profound pride and deep personal pleasure in recognizing June 9th through the 15th, 2013 as Arts Education Week in Cuyahoga County. Whereas the county is rich in art and culture that immensely enriches the lives of its citizens and provides inspiration to all who embrace the arts. And whereas it is our responsibility as citizens to provide opportunities for our youth to learn about and experience the arts, which will pave the way for a bright and prosperous future. And whereas the arts impact every aspect of the lives of all citizens of Cuyahoga County to resolve issues, contribute to economic development, create jobs, stimulate innovation, and promote creativity. This week is going to be highlighted by a number of activities and celebrations. There was a kickoff luncheon today held at the Playhouse Square with award-winning actress Anna Deavere Smith. And so I am happy to present this. I don't think we have anyone here today. I know there's not a lot of activities, but I'll make sure that the people that are responsible for putting this week together receive this resolution on behalf of the council.
Okay, thank you. I would like to point out item 10 will be taken out of order. We're going to take item 12 ahead of item 10. And Mr. Fitzgerald.
Thank you very much, Madam President. I will be quite brief this evening. One is I thought I know you're a history buff, you might particularly appreciate this. So over the weekend, there was this ceremony at Gray's Armory. I'm not sure, I don't think I saw you there. I expect you to be there because it's an interest of yours with its Civil War history. But it was a great event in the city of Cleveland. It was one of their anniversaries. Actually, absolutely packed house there, and it was a great event. It's actually the third oldest continually existing institution in Cuyahoga County. I did not know that. From 1837.
What's the oldest?
The other two
county?
are. Do you want to phone a friend? If you don't know, the other two are the Old Stone Church and Trinity Cathedral. So it's the only secular. It's the oldest secular institution in Cuyahoga County. So it was great. I mean, it was standing room only, and it was a great. If you haven't had an opportunity to see it, I had seen portions of it. I had never seen kind of the museum portion on floors 2 and 3, and it's really pretty interesting for those of you that haven't seen it. I just want to mention, of course, Convention Center opening this Friday, and I might have mentioned this before to council, but one of the things that we did try to do was make it available to county employees to have tours beforehand to give them a sense that they have a share in the county's success. And I just wanted to report to council, we've had several hundred employees that have availed themselves of that opportunity, and either during their lunch hours or right after work. So we hope to see you at that celebration on Friday afternoon at 2 o'clock. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Item 9, committee reports and consideration of a resolution of council for second reading adoption under suspension of the rules. This matter has been to committee, and it's been recommended to be passed under suspension of the rules. So we need a motion to suspend Rule 9D that would waive the third reading. Mr. Gallagher?
Madam President, I move to suspend the rules.
Moved by Mr. Gallagher and seconded by Mr. Germana to suspend Rule 9D. All those in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? The ayes have it. Madam Clerk, you can read the item.
Resolution number 2013-0086, a resolution determining the services and programs that shall be provided and funded from the Veterans Services Fund in 2013, approving an alternative procurement process, making awards to various providers in the total amount of $758,306 for said services and programs for the period ending June 30th, 2014, authorizing the county executive to execute the agreements, contracts, and all other documents consistent with said awards in this resolution, and declaring the necessity that this resolution become immediately effective for the providers and in the amounts as printed on the agenda items 9A, 1 through 9.
Move to adopt.
Moved by Mr. Rogers and seconded by Mr. Miller. This is the money that, well, let me go back, a further explanation for the public. There's certain monies allocated to the Veterans Service Commission pursuant to the Ohio Revised Code. And over the years, the Veterans Service Commission, for a number of reasons, has not expended all of that money, and that money was going back to the general fund. So we passed a resolution, actually originated by Mr. Greenspan last year, where we would take that money and then allocate it for veterans. So this is the first year that we have taken that money from the Veterans Service Commission and allocated it to veterans. And one of the emphasis that we were particularly interested in is carrying out the mission of the Veterans Service Commission, that they have a specific mission in terms of aiding veterans, and some of these are actually programs that had applied to the Veterans Service Commission, and they were unable to fund them because of the restrictions set forth in the statute. So this money will provide for homeless veterans, for the Veterans Court, for legal aid, for workforce development. A large chunk goes for a scholarship fund, and they are listed in the ordinance. Mr. Greenspan, did you have any other comments?
I did, thank you, or I do, thank you. Madam President, as the President said, this continues on the mission of the Veteran Service Commission by broadening the opportunities to serve veterans throughout Cuyahoga County and those veterans within the current fiscal year, which is the another mission of the Veteran Service Commission. I do want to thank Joanne Gross and Dave Merriman, who spent a significant amount of time in helping assist in the compilation of these programs. But it's important to note that of the veterans that we're able to identify, and I'll qualify that in a minute, that this money will help. It will be between, on the low end, 1,100 veterans and their families and on up. And the reason I qualify it that way, we do have a number of categories that we're able to identify how many veterans and their families will be assisted, but there are some categories that we just don't know yet the specific number of veterans. So I think it's safe to say, based on the information we've received, that this money will minimally assist over 1,100 veterans and their families that would not otherwise have seen services or received assistance through the allocation of this money. And it's my hope, my expectation that we're able to serve as a role model county throughout the state by utilizing these funds in this way. There's no other county I'm aware of that does this, and further expectation is we'll be able to shape legislation in Columbus to provide Veteran Service Commissions the ability to offer these programs, offer this money to programs similar to the ones, if not to the ones that we're offering here today. So I would encourage my colleagues' support on this legislation. Thank you.
And I'd like to point out also, there's item 4, the money goes to the Cleveland Municipal Court. The Veterans Court set up in the Cleveland Municipal Court, which is one of only, I think, several in the nation, but that court services misdemeanor offenders from all of the courts in Cuyahoga County. So they have special social workers, and so if you had a veteran in a suburban municipal court, it would be followed through the probation department of Cleveland Municipal Court. So it's not just for Cleveland residents. Did you have a comment, Ms.?
Yeah.
Madam Chair, I just wanted to point out item 5, which is the partnership with the Land Bank, and I really support this aspect, along with everything else. This Land Bank provision is a win-win for everybody. The Land Bank has surplus housing, and the veterans need homes. This will enable us to have a revolving loan as well. So it's really a positive use and partnership with our land bank. And I think this is a really great component, as well as the legal aid. They really desperately need representation. So I think this is a great package.
And what did you have, Mr. Jones? I'm sorry.
Madam President, I'd just like to, again, thank our staff for the hard work that they've done. I'll emphasize item 9, the Economic and Community Development Institute, in the amount of $25,000. The list that we had before item 9 covers human services, homeless services, so many of the traditional services that this county has provided. But in item 9, I saw an opportunity for economic development. This county has a new mandate to grow this economy. And that world of human services and the world of economic development, there is an intersection. And I believe this speaks to that. An opportunity to reach out to veterans who have needs of human services, but also may have a desire to start a business for themselves, to expand an existing business. And this world of this intersection it's not as sexy as the Medical Mart and the new hotels and all of these things, but I think they are fundamental to helping improve the economy of the residents of this community by giving them a skill set and putting dollars towards that. So again, I just thank our staff. I would like to thank Nate Kelly, who played a key role in helping this amendment. And I thank my colleagues in the committee, and again, ask you to support this amendment and the entire legislation piece. Thank you.
And we're paying very, very low administrative costs, so these are already funded into programs that already have administrative costs, so we don't have to pick up any administrative cost on these. Any other questions or comments?
Madam President.
Mr. Miller and Mr. Manna?
Madam President and my colleagues, I commend Councilman Greenspan for his leadership in helping to expand our county's capacity to serve the veterans in our community. This legislation was well heard in Finance and Budget Committee. We had multiple hearings. We were not able to fund all requests, but the items funded are all existing programs known to work well and that will get help to a large number of veterans in our community within a short time frame. And next year, I understand the intent is to put a more extensive application process in place, having more time to work with. And so I add my support to the legislation.
All right, Mr. Germana?
Please add my name.
Add Mr. Germana's name and Mr. Schrein.
Yes, Madam President. As a veteran, I do commend Mr. Greenspan on bringing forth this change from the way the funds used to get put into the general fund. And I think it's a terrific way in which all these different programs have come forward. There's never enough funds to cover all the needs, as we found out from everything from the education side and from the veteran side. As a proponent for one of the items that I've was a suggestion and would continue to suggest long-term items like the land bank fund and economic development, I think would also lend itself to the concept next year when we look at funding into the Fisher House. We're the only single largest veterans hospital in the entire country to not have a Fisher House. And when we had the Veterans Service Administration here speaking on behalf of some of these items, they were in agreement that we should find a way in which we would be part of that foundation and putting those bricks in there, whether it be $25,000 worth of bricks or $50,000 worth of bricks next year. I think that we should have bricks on that mortar in that foundation, as opposed to saying that it doesn't fit within the scope of this. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Mr. Schrein. We'll be looking at that next year, and we're going to expand the process. And I think, this has been a project where many council persons have been involved. Ms. Simon with the land bank and Mr. Jones, and I even got my $10,000 in for the soldiers and sailors, because they've got a program where they'll be going out to the veterans home, giving lectures, bringing veterans down, providing bus tours for them. They're actually going to train some veterans to be docents at the Soldiers and Sailors Monument, so it's going to be a good program. All right. Any other questions or comments? All right, all those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. All right. Item 11, consideration, we're skipping item 10 and going on to item 11, consideration of an ordinance of council for first reading and referral to committee.
Ordinance number 2013-0013, an ordinance establishing the council's annual approval of the county's 5-year economic development plans, which shall be accomplished by resolution and published on the county council's website, and declaring the necessity that this ordinance become immediately effective.
That matter will be referred to the Economic Development Committee, and the proposed plan appears on page 40 for those who want to look at it. Item 12, committee reports and consideration of an ordinance of council for third reading adoption.
Ordinance number 2013-0011, an ordinance amending ordinance number 2012-0007, dated July 10th, 2012, which established the Cuyahoga County Educational Assistance Program and the Cuyahoga County Educational Assistance Fund to add additional components to the program and to authorize an alternative procurement process, creating Chapter 710 and Section 804.01 to codify said program and fund, and declaring the necessity that this ordinance become immediately effective.
Move to adopt.
Moved by Mr. Rogers and seconded by Mr. Miller. Is there any discussion on this item?
Madam President, this ordinance amends the original ordinance that last year the council created the Educational Assistance Program and the Educational Assistance Fund, funding that with $6 million. We started with Component 1, which was a workforce development program. This Component 2, which we have a follow-on resolution, which will be coming up next, allows us to create a partnership with College Now to provide scholarships to students leaving high school and hoping to attend college. And our funds will be limited to those Cuyahoga County students that are looking to attend Cuyahoga County colleges and universities.
Madam President.
Yes, Mr. Miller.
My colleagues, this ordinance provides the organizational template for the county's educational assistance programs. And I support this as a good start, but I also mention that we need to gain clarity on what our annual financial commitment to these programs will be and how that commitment will be funded. There was some recent discussion in Finance and Budget Committee about the county's reserve for these programs, and that kind of uncertainty needs to be resolved going forward so that we have a clear and stable program going forward. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments or questions? All right, all those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. The ordinance is adopted. Then we can go back to item 10, committee reports and consideration of a resolution for third reading adoption.
Resolution number 2013-0087, a resolution making an award to College Now Greater Cleveland in the amount of $380,000 from the Cuyahoga County Educational Assistance Fund for Component 2 of the Cuyahoga County Educational Assistance Program for the period ending June 30, 2014, authorizing the county executive to execute the contract and all other documents consistent with said award in this resolution, and declaring the necessity that this resolution become immediately effective.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Rogers and seconded by Mr. Jones. Is there any follow-up on this, Mr. Rogers?
And this is the actual resolution making the award to College Now. This will fund 63 students from around Cuyahoga County. All 11 county districts will be impacted by this. These are students, again, that are Cuyahoga County residents that are graduating from Cuyahoga County high schools and looking to attend Cuyahoga County colleges and universities.
All right, any other questions or comments? All right, all those in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? All right, the ayes have it, and congratulations to those 63 students, and we want them all to come back and show us their college diploma in 4 years. All right, item 13, consideration of a resolution for first reading adoption or suspension of the rule. This is our bi-monthly budget adjustments, so we need a motion to suspend Rule 9D and 12A. Mr. Gallagher?
Madam President, I move to suspend.
Moved by Mr. Gallagher and seconded by Mr. Jemian to suspend the rules. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
The ayes have it. The rules are suspended. Madam Clerk, you can read the resolution.
Resolution number 2013-0118, a resolution amending the 2012-2013 biennial operating budget for 2013 by providing for additional fiscal appropriations from the general fund and other funding sources, for appropriation transfers between budget accounts, and for cash transfers between budgetary funds in order to meet the budgetary needs of various county departments, offices, and agencies, and declaring the necessity that this resolution become immediately effective.
Move to adopt.
Moved by Mr. Miller and seconded by Ms. Conwell. Mr. Miller?
Madam President, I would like to move an amendment which has been distributed, and this amendment is at the request of Budget and Management. It's technical in nature. It simply changes the allocation for the moving expense consultation from capital outlays to the other expenses category without changing the dollar amount.
And this is this one, right?
That's correct.
Okay.
Second.
All right, so moved by Mr. Miller and seconded by Mr. Schron to amend the resolution. So is any other questions on that? All right, all those in favor of the amendment indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? All right, the ayes have it. The resolution is so amended. All right, any other discussion on the resolution as amended?
Madam President and my colleagues, this resolution contains a number of items from the two previous resolutions that were fully discussed in Finance and Budget Committee, and new items, most of which are routine in nature. Among the more significant items are the moving consultation item that I just referred to, and also $2.5 million in allocation to assist with the PSAP consolidation, the tracking system upgrade in the Sheriff's Office, a transfer within the Fiscal Office to provide additional funding to deal with a high volume of Board of Revision cases, and additional staffing for children's related services in Domestic Relations Court. I ask for your support of the resolution.
All right, any other questions or comments? All right, all those in favor of the amended resolution indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. All right, item 14, consideration of resolutions for first reading and referral to committee. Item 0119.
Resolution number 2013-0119, a resolution adopting the annual tax budget, including the Cuyahoga County Library budget for the year 2014, and declaring the necessity that this resolution become immediately effective.
That matter goes to Finance and Budget.
Resolution number 2013-0120, a resolution authorizing an amendment to contract number CE 0800-365 with Piscarco Limited for lease of office space located at 11699 Brook Park Road, Parma, for the Employment Connection One-Stop System for use by Department of Workforce Development for the period June 1, 2008 through May 31, 2013, to extend the time period to May 31, 2018, and for additional funds in the amount of $1,831,060.10, authorizing the county executive to execute the amendment and all documents consistent with this resolution, and declaring the necessity that this resolution become immediately effective.
That would go to Public Works.
Resolution number 2013-0121, a resolution adopting the 2013 Economic Development Plan in accordance with Section 7.05 of the Cuyahoga County Charter and Section 801.01 of the Cuyahoga County Code, and declaring the necessity that this resolution become immediately effective.
It goes to Economic Development.
Resolution number 2013-0122, a resolution authorizing an economic development loan in the amount not to exceed $650,000 to 4400 Carnegie for redevelopment of a manufacturing facility located at 4400 Carnegie Avenue, Cleveland, authorizing the Deputy Chief of Staff of Development or Director of Development to execute all documents consistent with said loan in this resolution, and declaring the necessity that this resolution become immediately effective.
Goes to Economic Development.
Resolution number 2013-0123, a resolution authorizing an economic development large-scale attraction loan in the amount not to exceed $3 million to 30033 Clements Road for renovation of a facility located at 30033 Clements Road, Westlake, authorizing the Deputy Chief of Staff of Development or Director of Development to execute all documents consistent with said loan in this resolution, and declaring the necessity that this resolution become immediately effective.
Economic Development. Last week was Public Works. This was Economic Development.
Resolution number 2013-0124, a resolution authorizing an amendment to contract number CE 1200-430 with Educational Service Center of Cuyahoga County for fiscal and administrative services for the Help Me Grow Bright Beginnings program for the period July 1, 2012 through June 30, 2013, to extend the time period to June 30, 2014, to change the scope of services effective July 1, 2013, and for additional funds in the amount of $1,254,979, authorizing the county executive to execute the amendment and all other documents consistent with this resolution, and declaring the necessity that this resolution become immediately effective.
This goes to the Education Committee. Item 15, committee reports and consideration of resolutions for second reading, adoption, and suspension of the rules. These are items that have gone to committee, and the committees feel that they have sufficiently vetted the information and are recommending they be passed under suspension of the rule to waive the third reading. Mr. Gallagher?
Madam President, I move to suspend the rules. Second.
Moved by Mr. Gallagher and seconded by Mr. Jimana. Any discussion? All those in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? The ayes have it. Rule 9D are suspended. Item 0102.
Resolution number 2013-0102, a resolution declaring that public convenience and welfare requires resurfacing of Miller Road from Catherine Boulevard to Bar Road in the city of Brecksville. Total estimated construction cost, $130,000. Finding that special assessments will neither be levied nor collected to pay for any part of the county's costs of said improvement. Authorizing the county executive to enter into an agreement of cooperation with said municipality in connection with said project, and declaring the necessity that this resolution become immediately effective.
Move to adopt.
Moved by Mr. Jones and seconded by Ms. Conwell. Mr. Jones?
Madam President, this road was last resurfaced in 1994. It's in fair to poor condition, and it is time to receive work. So I ask my colleagues to support this resolution.
Discussion? All those in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? The ayes have it. And the sheriff, do you want to come up here and arrest that person with the cell phone?
Resolution number 2013-0103, a resolution declaring that public convenience and welfare requires resurfacing of Riverview Road from State Route 82 to approximately 1,500 feet south of Weiss Road in the city of Brecksville. Total estimated construction cost, $191,000. Finding that special assessments will neither be levied nor collected to pay for any part of the county's costs of said improvement. Authorizing the county executive to enter into an agreement of cooperation with said municipality in connection with said project, and declaring the necessity that this resolution become immediately effective.
Move to adopt.
Moved by Mr. Jones and seconded by Ms. Conwell. Mr. Jones?
And this road project was last resurfaced in 1994, and it is in poor condition, and it is time to resurface this road. So I ask for your support.
Any questions? And all those in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? The ayes have it. Item 0104.
Resolution number 2013-0104, a resolution declaring that public convenience and welfare requires resurfacing of West 130th Street from Brook Park Road to Lorraine Road in the city of Cleveland. Total estimated construction cost, $5 million. Finding that special assessments will neither be levied nor collected to pay for any part of the county's costs of said improvement. Authorizing the county executive to enter into an agreement of cooperation with said municipality in connection with said project, and declaring the necessity that this resolution become immediately effective.
Move to adopt.
Moved by Mr. Jones and seconded by Mr. Conwell.
and last resurfaced in 1986. The condition of this road is a fair condition, but it is time to begin the process for resurfacing. I ask for your support.
Are any questions? All those in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? The ayes have it. 0105.
Resolution number 2013-0105, a resolution declaring that public convenience and welfare requires resurfacing of West Grace Avenue from Broadway Avenue to approximately 800 feet west of Oakwood Avenue in the city of Bedford. Total estimated construction cost $420,000, finding that special assessments will neither be levied nor collected to pay for any part of the county's cost of said improvement, authorizing the county executive to enter into an agreement of cooperation with said municipality in connection with said project, and declaring the necessity that this resolution become immediately effective.
Move to adopt.
Mr. Jones, and seconded by Ms. Conwell.
Madam President, this road was last worked on in 1990. The road condition is fair, and again, I ask for your support in beginning this resurfacing project.
All right, any questions or comments on that? All right, all those in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? The ayes have it. All right, item 0106.
Resolution number 2013-0106, a resolution declaring that public convenience and welfare requires replacement of Bagley Road Bridge number 03.45 in the city of Olmsted Falls. Total estimated construction cost $1,700,000, finding that special assessments will neither be levied nor collected to pay for any part of the county's cost of said improvement, authorizing the county executive to enter into an agreement of cooperation with said municipality in connection with said project, and declaring the necessity that this resolution become immediately effective.
Move to adopt.
Moved by Mr. Jones and seconded by Ms. Conwell. Any discussion?
President, this bridge has an average daily traffic of 13,000 cars. It was built in 1978, and its condition is rated as a 6 on a scale of 0 to 9, 0 being the best condition. And it is time for it is time for a replacement.
Time for a new cell phone for somebody.
Not my phone.
It's hers.
Okay, any discussion?
Call.
All right, all those in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? The ayes have it.
Resolution number 2013-0107, a resolution making an award on requisition number 26546 to Mr. Excavator Incorporated in the total amount not to exceed $2,806,087.35 for the 2013 Operations Resurfacing Program Group 1, authorizing the county executive to execute the contract and all other documents consistent with said award in this resolution, authorizing the county engineer on behalf of the county executive to make an application for allocation from county motor vehicle $7.50 license tax funds in said amount to fund said contract, and declaring the necessity that this resolution become immediately effective for the road projects as printed on the agenda items F1 through 3.
Move to adopt.
Moved by Mr. Jones and seconded by Mr. Conwell.
And Madam President, this project had an engineer's estimate of $2.6 million, and we're roughly 10% over that in the awarded bid. There was a 32% SBE goal attached to this, which the awarded contractor did reach, and I ask for my colleagues' support for this resolution.
Any questions, discussion? All those in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? The ayes have it.
Re-
0108.
Resolution number 2013-0108, a resolution making an award on requisition number 26597 to Terrace Construction Company Incorporated in the amount not to exceed $2,744,044.50 for the sewer and lateral repair program for various county sewer districts, authorizing the county executive to execute the contract and all other documents consistent with said award in this resolution, and declaring the necessity that this resolution become immediately effective.
This project is a two-year, I move to adopt.
Moved by Mr. Jones, seconded by Mr. Miller. We'll break the pattern here. All right, Mr. Jones.
This is a two-year project. The construction will start in July of this year, and I ask for my colleagues' support.
All right, any other discussion, questions? All those in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? The ayes have it.
Resolution number 2013-0110, a resolution making an award on requisition number 26232 to Coastal Quality Construction Incorporated in the amount not to exceed $874,700 for the Juvenile Justice Center Public Defender's Relocation Project, authorizing the county executive to execute the contract and all other documents consistent with said award in this resolution, and declaring the necessity that this resolution become immediately effective.
You moving it, Mr. Jones?
Move to adopt.
Moved by Mr. Jones and seconded by Ms. Conwell.
No comment on this.
It's mine.
Oh, this is yours?
Yes.
Okay.
Madam President, we're just, as it states, we're moving the public defenders over to the Juvenile Justice Center. It's probably a project that should have happened when the building was built, but we're going to get them over there, and we had this in committee. It was unanimously suggested that we adopt this. I respectfully request support.
Any questions? All's in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? The ayes have it. All right, 0111.
Resolution number 2013-0111, a resolution making an award on requisition number 26692 to First Energy Services Corporation in the amount not to exceed $8,370,821 for purchase of electric utility services for county-owned facilities for the period October 1, 2013 through September 30, 2015, authorizing the county executive to execute the contract and all other documents consistent with said award in this resolution, and declaring the necessity that this resolution become immediately effective.
Moved by Mr. Rogers and seconded by Mr. Germana. Any discussion on this? Okay, we got to pay our electric bill. Ms. Simon?
Madam President, part of this contract has a component which mandates a certain percentage for the green power renewable energy, which I think is a fabulous aspect to this contract, and I hope to see more of that in our future contracts for energy.
Any other questions, comment? All's in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? The ayes have it. 0112.
Resolution number 2013-0112, a resolution authorizing an amendment to contract number CE 0800492 with Cleveland Commerce Center Incorporated for lease of parking spaces located at East 40th Street and Perkins Avenue, Cleveland, for use by the Division of Children and Family Services for the period May 1, 2008 through April 30, 2013, to extend the time period to April 30, 2018, and for additional funds in the amount of $327,120, authorizing the county executive to execute the amendment and all other documents consistent with this resolution, and declaring the necessity that this resolution become immediately effective.
Move to adopt.
Moved by Mr. Jones and seconded by Ms. Conwell. Any discussion on this item?
Madam President, this contract is a slight increase of 2% from the last rate. The county must provide parking space to the union employees, so I ask my colleagues to support this resolution.
Okay, any discussion, questions? All those in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? The ayes have it. 0116.
Madam Chair, I'm
I'm
sorry.
sorry, I'm looking at 3. I'm looking at the one we got to amend.
On the prior resolution 112, it was, the motion was made by Mr. Jones.
Jones and seconded by Ms. Conwell.
Thank you.
Yeah, I don't want to miss this amendment. That's why I was looking at the wrong number. Sorry.
Resolution number 2013-0113, a resolution authorizing an amendment to contract number CE 0800729 with Primer Investment Company for lease of 128 parking spaces located at 4209, 4213, and 4415 Euclid Avenue, Cleveland, for use by the Division of Children and Family Services for the period May 1, 2008 through April 30, 2013, to extend the time period to April 30, 2018, and for additional funds in the amount of $341,236.80, authorizing the county executive to execute the amendment and all other documents consistent with this resolution, and declaring the necessity that this resolution become immediately effective.
Move to adopt.
Moved by Mr. Jones and seconded by Ms. Conwell.
Again, like the previous contract, the county must provide parking for the union employees. However, this contract decreased by 2.8% from the last contract. and that is to the Department of Children and Family Services. And I ask my colleagues to support this resolution.
Questions, comments? All those in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? The ayes have it. Please add Ms. Conwell's name. All right, item 0114.
Resolution number 2013-0114, resolution making an award on requisition number 26333 to Catholic Charities Corporation in the amount not to exceed $600,672 for pre-employment screening services for Ohio Works First applicants for the period July 1, 2013 through June 30, 2014, authorizing the county executive to execute the contract and all other documents consistent with said award in this resolution, and declaring the necessity that this resolution become immediately effective.
Move to adopt.
Moved by Ms. Conwell. Second. Seconded by Mr. Schrein. Ms. Conwell, you have a comment on this?
Approximately, to the colleagues, approximately 4,400 pre-employment screenings are expected to be completed during this contract year for persons receiving cash assistance under this award, which is 100% federally funded.
All right, thank you. Any questions, comments? And all those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. 0115.
Resolution number 2013-0115, a resolution authorizing amendments to contracts with various providers for job readiness, job search, job placement, and job retention services for the period July 1, 2012 through June 30, 2013, to extend the time period to June 30, 2014, to change the scope of services effective July 1, 2013, and for additional funds in the total amount not to exceed $1,105,716.28, authorizing the county executive to execute the amendments and all other documents consistent with this resolution, and declaring the necessity that this resolution become immediately effective for the contracts and the providers and in the amounts not to exceed as printed on the agenda, items 15M 1 and 2.
I move to adopt.
Moved by Ms. Conwell and seconded by Mr. Schrein.
Yes, Madam Chair. These contract amendments continues state mandated job search placement and retention services for residents receiving cash assistance. The county is required to address the issues of unemployment and underemployment among these population, and it's also 100% federally funded.
Thank you. Any questions or discussions? All those in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? The ayes have it. All right, now, 0116.
Resolution number 2013-0116, a resolution authorizing amendments to contracts with various providers for community wraparound care coordination and family youth advocacy services for the period April 1, 2012 through June 30, 2013, to extend the time period to March 31, 2015, and for additional funds in the total amount not to exceed $6,415,893.08, authorizing the county executive to execute the amendments and all other documents consistent with this resolution, and declaring the necessity that this resolution become immediately effective for the contract numbers, the providers, and in the amounts as printed on the agenda, items 15 and 1 through 8.
I'd like to move to amend.
All right, proceed.
It's technical changes made. It's just basically changing the name to Division of Children and Family Services throughout the document.
And so you have a copy of it, or you have a copy at their place? Okay.
Madam President, if I may, that was just for your information, as it was a technical correction that I was able as clerk to be able to make
So
that
we don't
to
need
the
the motion to-
resolution. Correct.
Okay, all right.
I just wanted to make sure that you all knew
It's just a
that
change
it
of the
was
name?
done. Yes.
All right. All right, so you want to move,
To adopt.
moved by Ms. Conwell and seconded by Mr. Miller. Any further discussions on that?
Yes, Madam Chair, these contracts address the needs of children and families who have been identified as at risk for further public system involvement by DCFS, juvenile court, or community providers. And these are comprehensive care coordination and family and youth advocacy services designed to promote strength and resiliency. Funding is 1/3 federal and 2/3 of Health and Human Service levy.
All right, any other questions or comments? And all those in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? The ayes have it. 0117.
Resolution number 2013-0117, a resolution authorizing a contract with Sadler Niekamp Financial Services Incorporated, doing business as ProWare, in the amount of $6,136,749 for maintenance and support services for the criminal and civil justice information system for the period April 1, 2013 through January 31, 2016, authorizing the county executive to execute the contract and all other documents consistent with this resolution, and declaring the necessity that this resolution become immediately effective.
Move to adopt.
Moved by Mr. Gallagher and seconded by Mr. Germana. Mr. Gallagher?
Madam President, this is a contract for computer services for the Common Pleas Court and Clerk of Courts. It's become somewhat of a legend around here and became somewhat of a tennis match with the Clerk of Courts, the administration, the council, and the Chief Judge of the Common Pleas Court, who took this time to challenge the charter with this contract, and it was unfortunate and unnecessary, and in my opinion, unprofessional in the way in which it was handled. I'd like to thank the Clerk of Court, Ms. Rocco, my committee for their time and effort and patience with dealing with this situation. Our staff, Trevor McAleer, most important, and Mr. Mowry, who renegotiated the original contract that the court itself negotiated, which included employees of the private company getting raises. We knocked that out, and we saved $400,000 for the taxpayer, which I think is important, and evidently others in this tower don't think is important, but I respectfully disagree with their opinion. It's a good contract. All the other courts have participated in a professional manner, and I thank them for their cooperation. And as we move forward, I look forward to putting this behind us. And if those out there that wish to challenge the charter of the people, go about it the right way. Because in this chamber, the people should rule. And I would respectfully ask passage of this contract. This vendor has been waiting over 2 months now, close to 3 months to be paid, and has been doing the work. So I would ask that we finally get this gentleman his money for the good job that he's been providing to the Clerk of Courts and the Court of Common Pleas.
Any other comments? All those in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? The ayes have it. Item 16, consideration of ordinances for first reading and referral to committee.
Ordinance number 2013-0014, an ordinance establishing a required oath of office or affirmation for county officers, directors, and other employees, setting the bonds for county officers, directors, employees, and officials, and declaring the necessity that this ordinance become immediately effective.
This will go to court operations and rules. Item 0015. Council, what did I say? Court. I've been saying court for so many years. Council operations. Thank you, Mr. Germana.
Ordinance number 2013-0015, an ordinance establishing the Sheriff's Department and divisions and sections within the department, and declaring the necessity that this ordinance become immediately effective.
This will go to Public Safety and Justice Affairs. Item 17, consideration of ordinances for third reading adoption.
Ordinance number 2013-0003, an ordinance providing for modifications to and adoption of the Cuyahoga County Human Resources Personnel Policies and Procedures Manual to be applicable to all county employees, and declaring the necessity that this ordinance become immediately effective.
Second.
Moved by Ms. Conwell and seconded by Mr. Germana.
Yes, Madam Chair, the Department of Human Resources put forth additional changes for the policy procedure manual. There were new policies added, like the federally required lactation policy and the county social media policy. Previous policies redrafted, like the tobacco and smoke policy, as well as the maternity and paternity leave policy. Additional changes implemented to the attendance control plan and various other areas in the manual. All changes were explained and fully vetted in the Human Resources and Appointment and Equity Committee since February 5th. This committee finds the changes to correspond with current statutory and federal regulations and would encourage all employees to become familiar with the manual.
Thank you. Yeah, any other questions or discussions on this item? Okay, all those in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? The ayes have it, and now we instruct the employees to go and look at it. Mr. Germano was saying that if adopted. All right, item 0012.
Ordinance number 2013-0012, an ordinance providing for adoption of various changes to the Cuyahoga County non-bargaining classification plan and declaring the necessity that this ordinance become immediately effective.
Move to adopt.
Moved by Ms. Conwell and seconded by Mr. Germano.
Yes, Madam Chair, these new classifications impact the Sheriff's Department, which has a total of 52 employees who already have received letters of classifications. There are 24 new letters that were sent out, which we learned in the committee, and 13 of them will have increases to their salaries, and that total cost to the county will only be $13,000.
Okay, any other questions or comments? And all those in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? The ayes have it. All right, miscellaneous committee reports, item 18. Are there any reports? Did you want to have some, Mr. Greenspan? Go ahead.
Great. Thank you, Madam President. The Council Operations, not Court Operations Committee will meet Monday morning at 9 a.m. We'll have a presentation from the Planning Commission, also items referred to committee. We have a few items to discuss. Just to be mindful, it's my expectation to move as quickly and as expeditiously through our committee as possible, seeing that in July we'll be heavily involved with the Charter Review Commission recommendations through the Committee of the Whole when those hearings start, July 9th through the 11th. So committee meeting on Monday at 9 a.m.
All right, Mr. Miller?
Madam Chair and my colleagues in Finance and Budget, we started the review of the first quarter finances and the Health and Human Services funding at the last Finance and Budget meeting. And we're going to continue that discussion at the next meeting at the regularly scheduled time on Monday, the 17th at 1 p.m. And at that time, we'll also hear the tax budget, which is a state mandated requirement for an early look at the 2014 budget. And also, we will have a presentation on IT security from Director Mowry. Thank you.
Mr. Brady?
Yes, Madam Chairperson, first of all, I want to thank my Vice Chairperson, Councilwoman Conwell, for chairing the Health and Human Services Committee last week due to my unexpected absence. The main announcement I want to make this evening is that you'll be receiving, if not today, tomorrow, the resolution that I'm going to introduce to place a mental health levy on the ballot in November. I intend to introduce that resolution on the 25th of this month, but next week, the 19th, the Health and Human Services Committee will begin the discussion and the debate. I hope that anyone who can make it, who's not on the committee, might be able to make it at 1 o'clock on the 19th. This is what I hope will be the kickoff of a month-long, at least a month-long debate and discussion over this issue, very important, of course, and I hope that to be able to bring this to a final vote to place it on the November ballot, if the support is there in the council, on the 23rd of July, and intend to hold several hearings leading up to that vote. And so I look forward, I hope, to seeing you on the 19th. We'll be getting information out to you on, the resolution will speak for itself, but we'll get information to you and are prepared to discuss with any of you at any time what it is that we're trying to do and what it is that we're trying to accomplish. And we have a significant number of support, in fact, majority of support on the council at this point. But nevertheless, we will need the support of the entire community to be able to do this. And so look forward to that discussion.
Yeah, I'm going to be scheduling the meeting for economic development on Monday at 3 o'clock on the 16th. 17th, excuse me, you're right. Sunday was, actually I'm asking everybody to bring their sleeping bags, so I think it's going to be a long meeting. Mr. Kelly, Ms. Mueller are going to coordinate to see if we can get them on in the right sequence or something like that, I think that. So we can try to get in the priority that the Economic Development Department would like to see them being brought forth. Thanks.
Madam President, the Public Works Committee meeting will meet on Wednesday, June 19th, to deal with the items referred today. We will still have the Opportunity Corridor on the agenda for that day. We have held that in committee to allow the community to dialogue and have input in this important project, and that will be on the agenda for that day.
Anything further? Under miscellaneous, I'd like to ask to be excused for the meetings on Monday. It is my mother's 100th birthday. Her sister is 102. Everybody says that I have good genes. I think I got Levi, so I don't think I'm going to make it that long. But so I probably won't be around on Monday. I'm going to spend it with my mother. Any other miscellaneous business?
And Madam President, let me acknowledge Councilman Chuck Germana, the Vice Chair of Public Works, will chair that committee in my absence.
Okay. You sure everything won't be done in Parma that week, though? Okay, any other comments?
11 o'clock.
Unrelated to the agenda, anyone sign in?
No, Madam Chair, no one has signed in.
Okay, if there's no further business, we have a work session set for Tuesday, June the 25th at 4 o'clock. As of right now, we tentatively have it set for a further update on the complex, on the new administration complex. We have our regular meeting on the 25th, and I have discussed with the clerk that possibly in the future, when we have these executive sessions relating to labor contracts, that we possibly could do them before the meeting, and then we wouldn't have to go back into session and vote on the item. So we had the executive session before, then we could discuss it, then go right through the agenda and everybody possibly apprised. So if that works out, if everybody's in agreement, we'll probably try and do that the next time we have a labor contract that comes up, right? Yeah, it gets us out earlier. And of course, you didn't want to change the meeting until 5 o'clock, so I don't know, we have to keep you longer. All right, anything further? All right, stand adjourned. Yeah.